Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of hosting tips that we learned and we just developed over the years of hosting Airbnb guests in our 3 apartments. So first of all, it's actually needless to say, but I feel like we have to discuss this topic a little bit more in detail. Cleaning. It's super important that the apartment is spotless. It's different when you are renting just a room in a house or in an apartment. You're just renting a bedroom, or you're renting a whole space. So obviously when you rent a full apartment, everything needs to be spotless because your guests are going to be using every single part of the apartment. So from the kitchen to the bathroom, everything. And it's the details that matter a lot. So it's not enough that the apartment just looks clean, but when the guest actually looks under the mattress or looks under the bed or looks behind the toilet, it's actually dirty. So my advice is to make sure that you cleaned every single part of the apartment and didn't overlook any little detail. So the key is in the details for sure. When we have guests with nail polish and accidentally they scratch the wall or they scratch the kitchen cabinets, which are pure white, then you have to get rid of them because it just simply doesn't look good for your next guests. Or for example, guests are coming with suitcases and sometimes they scratch the walls. So after every guest, when they check out, we come with a little roll with the paint and then we just go through all the little spots on the wall because it's really important. The apartment can look really clean, but it gives you this kind of old feeling and used feeling when you see marks on the wall. So it's just not nice. Also make sure that when you finish cleaning that you run a second check for hair. No matter how much you clean, hair can just lay around and it looks really bad when your guests check in, that they find hair laying around on the sofa or on the top of the bed or in the bathroom floor or in the shower. So make sure that you removed every single hair. I know it's difficult and we really struggle with it because there's always something that you can spot. Also, some guests use body lotion or oils and then they touch the handles, so make sure that you clean and wipe always every single doorknob, handles, the headboard of the bed. So make sure that you give it a quick wipe every single time. Next one is first impression. It is very important that you greet your guests with a big smile, of course, and be friendly. But not only this, also the apartment has to feel nice when you step inside with the guests. So if it's a summer or if you're living in a very hot location, make sure that you go into the apartment half an hour before your guest arrives and you put the AC on and let it run to cool down the apartment, so when you enter it doesn't feel like a sauna when you step inside with your guests. And also make sure that there is no odor in the apartment when you're entering with your guests, because yeah, sometimes it can smell, the sewers or the drain, in the sink, in the shower. If you don't have anybody staying there for a couple of days, just make sure that before your guest checks in that you put some chemicals through the drain or run some water through, so it has a nice scent, the apartment, when the guest steps inside. Most of the time we greet our guests personally if we cannot make it, if it's a super late check-in or if we are not around and we let them check themselves in, then I try to leave a little note for them, like just a little welcome note, and I always ask them to text me just so that I can be relaxed. I know that they have arrived. And if they're arriving late in the night, just leave a light on, just a bedside lamp. That is a nice feeling when your guest arrives, that they don't enter a dark apartment. It's more cozy. It feels like you were expecting them. Okay, so the next thing, what you provide in the apartment. According to Airbnb, you need to provide basics. For example, towel, bed sheets, if you have a kitchen, if you're renting a full apartment, provide oil, salt, pepper, toilet paper. These are the complete basics. On top of this, I think it's much nicer to provide more, so your guest feels like you're generous and you're not trying to save on every little penny. So for example, in the kitchen we have a coffee machine and a kettle and a toaster. So we provide instant coffee, filter coffee, tea, sugar, sweetener. We also provide dishwasher liquid because of course you would like your guests to do the dishes before they check out. So just provide dishwasher liquid and a clean sponge. In the bathroom, towels and toilet paper, that's the ultimate basic, so you must. And of toilet paper, I really don't like when we check into a place and it has like 1 or 2 rolls and you're there for 4 nights. So try to provide as much as you can. Come up with a little drawer and then you just fill it up so that they don't need to spend their holidays going out and searching for toilet paper. In the bathroom, make sure that you leave shampoo, shower gel. You can have a bigger container if you would like to be more environment friendly, not to provide the little tiny bottles. And then you can just fill up after every checkout. Towels, 1 big towel, 1 hand towel, and if you want you can even put face towels in the apartment. And also we have washing machine in every single apartment, so we always make sure that we have washing powder or washing liquid so that guests can actually use the machine and wash their clothes. And one little extra that our guests love, we provide cotton pads to remove makeup. So that's something that they really appreciate, and also you can avoid getting makeup all over your bed sheets and having to clean it up every single time, because guests have the makeup removal pads and then they can just remove the makeup before they go to bed. It's also very thoughtful to leave a couple of snacks in the apartment. When your guest checks in, they can just quickly grab something before they get to a restaurant, and a bottle of water in the fridge. I would like to show you guys some brochures and some information what we leave in the apartments. So we have like little guidebooks in English, and other leaflets and information about museums and places of interest. So that's really useful to have. Also, I put together a little leaflet about the neighborhood. Yeah, it's just the immediate surroundings of the apartment, about the local food and what dishes to try. And then at the back I made a map with pinned on it a couple of places of interest and our favorite restaurants and bars. I find that people really love local recommendations. Some authentic places to go, some unique places which you love personally. I always share it with them, and I'm really happy when they get back to us and say, hey, we went to that restaurant that you offered and it was really great. So yeah. Other thing, maps. So I have, just for information, a whole country map, which is, I think it's really cool, it's interesting. But of course for the city is not very useful. So I have created a whole Skopje city guide. There you go. I pinned a lot of places on it. So these are, for example, restaurants and bars that we have tried, or taxi stations. What else we have here? Museums, places of interest, and this is, we laminated it, so this is always in the apartment. But once our guest checks in, I always send out for them like a little information package via Airbnb. So for example, this map I made it on Google Maps, so they when I send them the link, then they can just have it on their phone and then just zoom in and see what are the locations that we pinned. And in the message I always include a couple of other links that is taking them through to our blog, where they can find much more information. Another great idea is that if you live in an area which has a lot of bars and restaurants around, try to pick one of the closest ones and talk with them if they would like to do a collaboration with you. For example, we have a collaboration with one of the bars downstairs. They also have breakfast, so we made an agreement with them that with our guests can get a 15% discount when they show a little discount card that is in the apartment. So yeah, try and see if you can offer this to your guests, because it's much appreciated. The other thing that we also provide to our guests is bus cards, so they can just top it up and use it if they want to on the local public transportation. I think pretty much that's it. And all this information, I have a corkboard on one of the walls at the entrance, and everything is pinned on it, and the guests can have like an information board, which is really useful to have. And one more thing to make your life as a host easier is to put on the wall or wherever you can checkout information. So, because this is something that you will have to explain constantly to every single guest. So just have it in the apartment. What time is the checkout time? What would you like them to do with the key? And maybe just a couple of lines that you appreciate a review, and hope to see them again. And also you can send the same thing out the night before they check out, but that's always good to have it in the apartment. So guys, just to summarize the video for today, I think that it's very important that you create a space that is not just apartment with, just an empty apartment technically, but try to create a home, try to create a warm space with a lot of information in it about the area. Try to think, what would you need when you check into a place, when you go to a city? What is the information that is useful to have for your guests? And many times it happens that you go to an Airbnb and then it's just it feels very, very empty. It's not only about the decoration, but also these little thoughtful touches that you can feel that the host was trying to think and made an effort to make your holiday easier, and then to make your holiday more unique by recommending you places and leaving you extra snacks or fruits in the fridge. And yeah, I think that's it for today. I hope it was useful. I hope that you found our tips and you can use some of our tips in your own Airbnb. And let me know, how did you like it? Comment below and subscribe, hit like, and see you next time. Bye!